here we are leaving school on Wednesday. Looking pretty yucky out. A little rainy. You can see some raindrops on the windshield. There's Mrs. Barzik eating crackers and hot cheese. And we are meeting Mr. Sturgis up at the Erie Bluffs, which I have never been to. Have you ever been there?
I have. We've gone hiking there. It's a state park. It's right along the lake. There's trees there. What are we doing? Oh.
Check out those guys on the roof. What are they doing? I'd like to go up there. That's a future episode. We're going to be going up on the roof. One of these episodes. We got the keys to the kingdom. All right.
It is near Lake Erie. So in certain parts you can hike through the woods and be able to see down to the water, from what I remember. I don't know, it's been a long time. So we'll have to go see what parts we get to see today.
All right. Waiting on Mrs. Barzik and Mr. Maddox to pull in with Mr. Stutz so that we can release some pheasants. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Todd Sturgis in the flesh.
He's got his phone filming right now too.
I got you.
I got you.
Perfect.
Todd's gotten into the vehicle with us. Here we are, sitting in. What Mrs. Barzik's always letting us ride in her vehicle. I'm always driving. Todd, you've been in contact with Mr. Stutz.
Yes, sir.
What is your impression or your belief about what's going to happen today?
So Mr. Stutz is a fish and wildlife game commissioner, and his job is to take care of the parks around here. Those of you that are in 7th and 8th grade, you know Mr. Stutz because you made bluebird boxes with him. You came into Mrs. Santos's room and you just pounded away, making those bird houses. So Mr. Stutz is going to release pheasants out here, and it's for the hunting of this area. It probably brings in some money to the area, which is it's a good thing. And I don't know much about hunting because I don't hunt or fish. I play golf. Mr. Maddox, are you a hunter?
I don't hunt. No.
Barzik, do you hunt?
I do not. No.
All right, so Mr. Stutz has promised us that we're going to get our hands on some birds and we're going to release them into the wild, like Prince, When Doves Cry, except this is going to be pheasants.
The artist formerly known as Prince.
Symbol.
Some symbol. You should put that in the video. And a picture of Prince.
Okay.
In a blue suit, singing Purple Rain.
When Doves Cry.
That is the plan for today. We're just waiting on Mr. Stutz to show up with his truck full of, he said 80 pheasants.
Wow.
So we'll get our hands on them, release them, let them go fly off into the grassy areas.
What are you going to ask him?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to see what happens in the moment. I didn't have much prepping for this to think about what to ask this gentleman, but this should be interesting. I don't have much experience with birds. Mr. Maddox has had chickens, so you've had some experience with birds. I've got nothing except for, saving a couple of robins as a child.
So I'm kind of interested. I want to know what the IQ is of these pheasants. That's legitimate. That's because we know that in nature, if these birds were wild and they were allowed to breed, that they would maintain some level of intelligence and IQ in order to survive. However, when you artificially select and you breed them in, what do we call it?
Captivity.
In captivity. Sometimes intelligence is lost, and so oftentimes I've been driving down the middle of the road and there's a pheasant right in the middle of the road. It doesn't know what to do. It's looking around like I don't get it. So Cows, same way. We select for beauty and not brains. And so sometimes cows don't know what to do when they have a baby calf. They just kind of walk away from it. And so there's a need to make sure that we keep some level of intelligence into these animals as we artificially select them. You talk about natural selection, don't you?
We do, yep.
Okay.
So yes, 7th and 8th graders, you should know this already. Natural selection, survival of the fittest, Darwin. Those that are best suited for the environment are the ones that survive. Not the strongest, but the ones that are best suited for the environment. So I'm interested to see, because these pheasants came from down south somewhere. So they're being shipped in. This was the last found footage of Mr. Maddox walking into the woods. His last words to me were, "If I don't come back in 5 minutes, wait longer." Oh, I think there's a bluebird box right out here. These are the same boxes that 7th and 8th graders made?
Yeah. Cavity.
Yeah, we're good. Just talk nice and loud because the wind and everything. So we are here with Mike Stutz and his cadet Hilbert right now, and they're going to talk us through kind of what it is that we're going to be doing. Here are the birds right over here. So we're going to let them chat it up about what it is that we're doing out here and why we're doing it.
Okay, so this is the ringneck pheasant. We're going to be stocking them today. It's not a native species in Pennsylvania, but it's one of the species. Most non-native species can be harmful to the environment, and this is one that is it doesn't have a negative impact. And so we stock them, and hunters come in, or are able to participate in hunting. We stock around 218,000 a year.
Are there native pheasants to this area?
They're not native to Pennsylvania, but there are populations that can still repopulate. There is a.
And their coloring, is that one way or another? It shows.
So this will be the male, and this will be the female.
Okay.
The rooster and the hen.
All right.
So I've been dying to know about their intelligence. Are these less intelligent than birds that would be bred in the wild, or have we seen any loss of intelligence since we've gone to raising them in captivity?
They don't have the same instincts as wild bred ones because of being in a farm.
Right.
So every year we propagate over 200.
I gotcha.
So every year we propagate about 250 or so thousand birds a year. So that what that means is they're all bred into a farm facility. So even though their pens are set up to mimic the outside world, they're still captive birds. They're being fed every day. You know, they're eating grains. You know, they're raised from a chick inside a barn and then into some enclosures. So they're not getting the same thing that the wild birds get. So as far as intelligence, yes, they're probably not as smart as their wild counterparts. As you see, some of them, once we let them go, they'll probably come right back to the spot we let them go. That's just how they are. They're waiting for their ride back home to go back into their nice, cozy enclosures. But what we do this for, as far as the Game Commission side of things, is these birds are put out for hunters to harvest. That's their intent. And so far, I think the hunter ratio is about 60 or so % of harvest rate. So come Saturday morning, this parking lot will be full of people, and they're going to all be after these kind of birds. So, and we do 3 to 4 stockings a year, just to give the hunters that, you know, opportunity to harvest the pheasants like they've done in the past. So
Does that bring money into the area here? Do they...
So it brings money in for a couple of reasons. Guys like to come to this park to hunt these birds, so they're using the park facilities. But in order to hunt pheasants, they have to buy the general hunting license, plus they have to buy the pheasant stamp. And of course that, you know, every money that comes in goes into producing these birds so that we can put them back out for the hunters, you know, every fall.
All right, what's next up on the list with these guys?
So these guys get turned loose. So if
Where
you want,
where were these ones actually bred, or where
these
were they
all
raised?
come out of the Southwest Game Farm. As you may or may not know, we had a local farm in Cambridge Springs.
Yep.
And because of shortages and things that went on, they decided to close about half of the farms down. So we thought initially that that would mean that we would get less birds every fall, but it's actually been the opposite. We're actually getting more birds put out than we initially did. So for whatever reason how that worked out, I'm not sure, but we get more birds than we used to get. So it all works out better in the end.
Mr. Sturgis looks like a falconer.
Yeah.
So how do we go about releasing them? Just all right. See what you're gonna do, bud.
Follow your girlfriend. So if you notice the difference too, the male birds, they cackle when they fly. The hen stays silent. It's just the thing that happens in nature. Open over high. That's a good one too. It's got nice purple and dark green on his head.
Look at that. Crikey, he's a beauty. And he's very photogenic. Whoa! I got.
That was a good angle.
Here we go. Here we go. Let her go, boys. This is another rodeo scene.
Oh, let her go, let her go.
Is that the last one? Oh,
Bolt stand underneath them just like that.
listen.
So this is something I wanted to do since I was a kid. It just took me a lot longer to get to. So I had a career before this in the Army, and then got out, and then I went to school for this. Unlike Cadet Hilbert, who is just barely old enough to do this job.
I started out at a restaurant, A&W restaurant. Always grew up in a hunting fishing family, and my interest in law enforcement started at the State Police's Camp Cadet program. And just happened to be eligible to apply. 20 years old, and you can apply.
What is the best story you have about the job that you do?
Without going into a lot of details, the best part of this job is, so wildlife can't protect itself generally, so someone needs to do it, and I like to do that portion of it because, you know, they don't have a say in what happens to them. So mine is catching poachers and people that do illegal things to wildlife. So that's my favorite part of this job.
I was hoping you were going to talk about tranquilizing bears and whatnot.
That is a close second. That's probably animal-wise, that's my favorite thing to do is catch and tranquilize and relocate bears. Which hopefully we'll get a video on that. It'll probably be towards the springtime, but
I can't wait for that.
We're
Look
out.
at the smile on Mr. Sturgis' face.
we are out of the bear trapping and relocating season right now because of the hunting season going on. But in the springtime, when they start becoming a problem again, absolutely we'll make another video for that. So
Stay tuned, people.
that's right.
Let's check.
My hair.
It's natural hair gel.
Yuck.
What you think?
that was neat. That was a fun, different experience, which is what we're hoping to do with you guys at home watching this, is to show you something that you normally wouldn't get a chance to see. And those of you that are pheasant hunters, maybe you get one of these guys on Saturday.
Pheasant hunters get to see where their pheasants come from when they go out hunting.
Your thoughts about today?
It was a great day.
It's a great
Got
day.
to release some pheasants.
Is this your first time?
Releasing pheasants?
Yeah.
Yes, yes it is.
Yeah.
Yep. All different experiences with this job. Yep. I'd recommend it to anyone.
All right. Any final thoughts, Mr. Stutz?
If you're going out pheasant hunting Saturday, enjoy. Other than that, we'll be back here in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll be stalking once a week. So enjoy it.